So thank you again, Dasha, for helping out with the presentation. So we'll start with um, okay. So what's happening nationally in the real estate market right now? So according to the NAR, short sales and foreclosures accounted to be less than 1%, which is a very, very, very good sign. If we compare that numbers with the 2008, we can see that the foreclosures were at record high of 81%. And that is a drastic difference. So right now we have higher, loan qualifications. I know a lot of people are afraid, they're waiting for September, October. Now we're coming to the presidential elections. So it's a big question of what's going to happen. So we still have a very, shortage of homes and demand is very high. And now we're going to see some more data about the unemployment. So unemployment, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, reported to be 7.9%. And it is reduced from the last month of August. And in September, notable joint gains occurred in leisure, hospitality, and retail trade, healthcare, and social assistance. Another thing that I want to think is that this is the month of September, October, and people, it's not the best months usually for the real estate, and people are asking, right? So is this actually a good time to buy or list a home? So in the last year, you would say that when we come to the end of the year, it's not the best time, and you should probably wait, till the middle or end of January. However, that is not what we can recommend right now. So when sellers call us and ask us if it is actually the right time, yes, this is the right time because the interest rates are still low and they're probably going to keep it the same way throughout the 2021. We have dramatically low level of inventory and high buying demand. And usually, during the presidential elections, market usually stays strong, but then we don't know how it's going to happen. So if they want to do buy sell right now, this is actually a good time. So now we are turning into our Santa Clara County update. So we are at the highest price of the whole year. So the median price is 1.4 million. Usually, again, reminding that September is not the best month for real estate, but this year it is very, very different. And we're having very strong numbers. So as an example, the 2018 was very, very similar to the September 2020, but we are still even higher. So closed number of sales show that it's not the highest month compared to last month, and then the July was a little high. So we closed 976 transactions. Month over month, we are 3% high, and we are 32% high year over year. So last year in September, we closed 737 sales, and this month we are almost 100 sales. And that the last year results were just because the August was not so good as it was this year's August was so good. So when we see the high sale prices plus high closed transactions, it means that we are obviously going to see higher sale volume. So this is not only about Santa Clara County, this is also valid about the other counties. And by year over year, we are up 55%. And this is very powerful to know how many dollars were transacted in a month, but definitely it's a very, very good time for sellers to list their homes. We are again highest number of listings in this year, in the year of 2020. We are 10% up month over month, and we are 20% high year over year. So good news for our buyers that they have more options to buy right now, but we're still showing the lower inventory. So now we are having more homes, we're having higher prices, and we have a shorter days for the homes to be on the market. We are showing again 9 days for the Santa Clara County. We're down one day. On city level, some cities even show shorter days. So the buyers have to be very, very quick. So sale to list price ratio are going higher by 1% every month. So we were showing We're showing 103% in September. Again, this is very good for sellers, and we were 102% in August. So this slide is going to show which cities are actually the highest gainers for the increased price. So we can see that Saratoga gained 23% and Sunnyvale gained 18% of median price. San Jose gained 16%, and San Jose City had 500 sales in September, which is a very high number, I think. So the only cities that were actually decreased in the median price were Monte Serena and Los Altos Hills. And Palo Alto is on increase in September, but it was negative in August. So Palo Alto is gaining as well. It feels like everything is having actually a momentum here. So we can see good numbers in increased median prices month over month. And it's very funny to see that, you know, Stanford is showing 70% price range, and it was based on one sale in September, which was sold for over 3 million, but everything else is median and actually, you know, trustable. So they should have just removed Stanford. So when we look at the condos and townhomes, we can see that the prices were increased there as well. So it's not as good as, you know, what we see in the single family housing market, but it's still good. And we can see that the highest prices ever got was for Saratoga and Cupertino areas. We still notice that the whole market for condos and townhomes are still going, you know, slower and lower, and you are able to negotiate, just like Lana mentioned recently, but the market is still good. So we can see that for the condo and townhomes, increased median price month over month is still growing. And, you know, it's still good results if you compare year to year and month over month. So if we see where is the money going, we can see that the properties are actually closing a lot in Milpitas, in Mountain View, in Campbell, in Los Gatos. We can also see some good numbers in Sunnyvale, in San Jose, 500 sales and 24% increase. Again, it's very good for sellers out there. I think the only city which showed a decrease was Gilroy, and everything else is positive.
Pardon for my ignorance, but I mean, I see these high prices, the lower numbers of sales and whatnot. I mean, for a new buyer, I mean, how is this good for our buyer? I mean, is there any talking points?
The only good thing for buyer is that the inventory is getting higher. So they have higher choice. I mean, bigger choice, right? They can choose. And and like I mentioned before, the lower interest rates, that is good for them. But everything else, we are in a very strong sellers market. Everything is selling very fast, but for buyers, it's only the choice option right now. So in general, we had 376 condos and townhomes sold in Santa Clara County in September. And Morgan Hill, Sunnyvale, San Jose is showing highest number in sales this year. So again, we can see some very good numbers for Campbell and Sunnyvale for condo and townhomes. So if somebody wants to sell their condo and townhomes, they still have a very good, solid chance to sell it for high. But again, for buyers, it's another side, right? It's very competitive. They need to act very fast and they need to pay higher premium.
Can I ask a random?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, this was actually, I'll ask after you're done your market report.
Okay. So we see highest number of listings in the cities. So we have, San Jose had 611 listings in the month, 64 listings for Palo Alto, and it looks like a trend right now. But usually, the market goes up in winter, like during the 5 years, and the peak comes in spring and then it lowers in summer. But this year it's very, very different. We are getting at the end of the year and the market is just going up, 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 up. And then we'll see how it's going to go in October, in November. But right now it's a good time for us to be working. So, and year over year, we're seeing increased new listings, and they are all increased in price, obviously, and sales and new listings as well, just like I mentioned. So this is the slide where you can see the decreased days on numbers, which means that, again, the market is so hot. So it's really tough for buyers right now, right? They have to be standing at the door just when the house hits the market. And this is the only slide where we can actually see some negative numbers, just to show that everything is going so fast. And mostly everything is single digits right now, even through the pandemic. So again, buyers don't have much time. Everything is going just over the asking price, mostly. So increase in sale to price ratio, short days, higher prices, good for sellers. Very intense market data. The only exceptions here are Palo Alto and Los Altos Hills. Mountain View lost 1%. So it can be just, some very, very minor adjustments, which happen every month. So this is the data for month over month, and this is actually what we need to pay attention to, in order to feel the fluctuations of the market. And year over year shows you the big picture, and now month over month is going to show you what is exactly happening with the market. So San Jose is again showing 103% sale to list ratio. And I believe that this is the data that we need to share to our buyers. We can still see that condos and townhomes are seeing some increase, not obviously not as big as single family homes, but the trend still continues. The numbers are still good. Common interest properties were not higher than 103% last 2 years, so we cannot even see that right now. The month was very, very strong. And we don't see, the seasonality right now, but we'll see next month what is going to happen. And yes, what a month. It's very busy. Agents are active. And I will be back next month. I am done.